business.
Singer and actress Janelle Monáe told the audience at Madison Square Garden that time's up for discrimination and harassment as she introduced a song by Grammy nominee Kesha. Kesha's been battling her former record producer for years over allegations of emotional and sexual abuse. Backed by an all-star female chorus, Kesha sang her empowerment ballad, Praying.
I don't need you. I found a strength I've never known.
It was a sentiment echoed backstage by Best New Artist Alessia Cara.
Things are uneven and unequal, and they need to be talked about and need to be changed.
The other 8 awards were handed to men, including the night's biggest winner, Bruno Mars.
Fire and Fury.
Other parts of the award show took aim at President Trump. A comedy sketch showed auditions for the audiobook of the White House expose, Fire and Fury.
He had a long-time fear of being poisoned. One reason why he liked to eat at McDonald's.
The segment was criticized by some conservatives, including UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, who tweeted, "Some of us love music without the politics thrown in it." U2 performed with the Statue of Liberty as the backdrop. And Cuban-born singer Camila Cabello had a message about immigration.
Just like the dreamers, my parents brought me to this country with nothing in their pockets but hope.
And multiple Grammy winner Kendrick Lamar ended his performance with images of violence against African Americans. Laura Podesta, CBS News, New York.
I also want to say Jason Isbell took home 2 Grammys last night for his Nashville sound. Great record. I highly suggest listening to it. And well, folks are already getting hyped for the Super Bowl this weekend. Now, die-hard Patriots fans arrived early this morning at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough to cheer on and send off the team. The Pats are headed to Minneapolis to play the Philadelphia Eagles this Sunday. Quarterback Tom Brady is chasing his 6th Super Bowl ring. And our own Delaney Walker is the talk of the town from the Pro Bowl over the weekend. He caught 2 second-half touchdowns and was named the game's MVP and even won a car. Look at that. That's great. Congratulations to him. Now, if only the Seahawks and Titans were playing in the Super Bowl, that would make me happy. But there will be much more news throughout the day as well as on air and online. But right now, let's head out to Towanda.
Just walking past this building in downtown Nashville, you may not realize the history that lies behind these windows and these doors. This historic Woolworth building is where the beginning to the end of segregation at the downtown lunch counters all began. February 13, 1960. A group of student protesters from Nashville's historically black universities and colleges staged a series of lunch counter sit-ins at downtown 5 and dime stores. Their goal was to desegregate all public facilities. It was the catalyst for Nashville becoming the first major southern city to do so. You know, if these walls could talk, it would tell us of a time when blacks weren't allowed to sit at lunch counters like this one in downtown Nashville. It's a time that I remember, as well as Tom Morales with Tomkats Catering, and he is helping to capture a lot of that history by opening this old historic Woolworth building, which was once a dollar store, is now a wonderful restaurant and music venue.
Soon to be, and I think it's one of the, this of all places in our community is the fabric of who we are, and it deserved to be saved.
This is not necessarily the original counter, but this is exactly where the counter was located, and a lot of the parts, though, are original.
Oh yeah, we've saved everything from the terrazzo floors to the cornucopia to the tile work. We found some things that we're not so proud of, like the colored over the water fountain, and different things that represent the time.
This is going to be a place where you can come and feel the rich history and be thankful that times have changed. But it's important, I think, that you are recreating a part of the Nashville history that has made, you know, history books, and that we learn about.
This was the first integrated lunch counter in the South.
It's the first place John Lewis was arrested for, too.
Right down here.
Wow. This was all retail, but so
it
you
was
had
like
to
a
just
department
bring
store.
in. Yeah.
And actually, if you see that middle color, that's all the original color. When we peeled back the drywall, that was here. I believe in open kitchens mainly because it keeps them clean and it brings the chef into the room as well.
Let's go downstairs first. All the steps, you did nothing to?
No, these are the original floors. The railing just to me is a feature that is just spectacular.
Isn't it beautiful?
This was a department store down here, but you see the terrazzo floors.
Yes.
We will have a stage down there at the very end, or it can be here in the middle. We want people to come here, have great food, great fun, dance, and leave here with that uplifting feeling. And I think that's what they sat for. This is all original. You see the imperfections in it. So rather than tear it out, we saved it, just framed it in.
I think that's important.
This is what people saw in the 50s.
Just to think who may
Get
have
some of
touched
that
this,
energy.
in the past. That's pretty exciting. Well, I cannot wait for Nashville to come to Woolworth on 5th. Opening in February, 1st of February, right? Mm-hmm. We're all going to be able to come and enjoy your food in this amazing historic environment. I'm especially proud to be inside this particular Woolworth because it goes back to my own roots, and I really appreciate all you've done to bring this place back to its former glory, not as a museum, but as a fun place to come.
That's the way it has to be.
And entertainment.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
What a special story. Thanks so much to Wanda and photojournalist Mike Rose. Great job. Well, we are looking ahead to spring today with some of the fashions that you're going to see at a favorite Nashville event. Tina Adams from Your Style Vault is one of the co-chairs for Wine, Women, and Shoes. It's a fun girls' day out that benefits a great cause. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you, Meryl.
This is a fun event, isn't it?
It is. It's, you know, almost an entire day of all your girlfriends together shopping, sipping wine. And there's great entertainment. There's a beautiful sit-down lunch. It's a wonderful day.
It is a lot of fun. And we're going to be seeing some great spring fashions that you can actually buy at the event. Why don't we take a look at our first model?
Okay, let's do. So this is from Draper James. Brittany with the YWCA is wearing some navy aviators, which is
cute.
a fun riff on a classic. And one of my favorite spring pieces, as you know, Meryl, is a denim jacket because you can transition your warm weather clothes or your cold weather clothes into warm weather. And she has on a great sundress with a beautiful floral pattern, and check out that scallop hem.
That's cute. And you could wear that a lot of different places.
You could. It'd be great to a spring wedding. You could wear it to steeplechase with a fun hat.
All right, you look beautiful, Brittany. Thank you. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Brittany.
Christy Wilson's coming in now. She's one of your co-chairs.
She is. She is a superstar with the Wilson Real Estate Group, Christy Wilson. So she has on a cold shoulder blouse that is another trend that we're seeing from last year, really. It's, you know, moving forward this spring too. And look at her jeans. I love this faded rinse. And she has on a frayed hem, which is super hot this spring.
That's really cute, kind of a high-low look. You know.
Yeah, it is. You've got a fancy blouse with a casual pant.
All right, I love it. Thank you. All right, so this Wine, Women, and Shoes event has so many fun things going on.
It does. It's we have a wall of wine with a wine pool, so you don't know if you're going to get $100 bottle of you know, wine or a $5 bottle of wine. Well, we don't have $5, but and Kendra Scott is doing a jewelry pool, and we've got some other vendors besides Draper James. We've got Gus Meyer and some Kendra. I said Kendra. We've got a few others that will have jewelry and shoes.
Such a special event, and the great thing is it does benefit the YWCA. Tina, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you, Meryl.
We appreciate it. Wine, Women, and Shoes is Saturday, February 10th. It's at the Music City Center. All the proceeds go to support the YWCA's Weaver Domestic Violence Center. You can get tickets and more information online at ywcanashville.com. Well, up next on Talk of the Town, we learned the details this morning on a former White House staffer's new job. I think you'll find it interesting. She is going to be back in the spotlight on TV really soon. Plus, incredibly talented and gifted doctors are inspired by Star Wars to create a life-changing piece of technology. The Force was definitely with them. And then don't toss it till you know what it's worth. Stuff you inherited and may not want could be the hot items that get big bucks from collectors. We've got all that and more on the snow. Snow, really? That's coming up as Talk of the Town continues.
This portion of Talk of the Town is sponsored by Electronic Express.
Welcome back to Talk of the Town. This morning we are learning more about the very first celebrity edition of Big Brother. Are you curious who the house guests are going to be? Well, the celebrity house guests include TV personality and former White House aide Omarosa, rock star Mark McGrath from the band Sugar Ray, and the Cosby Show actress Keisha Knight Pulliam. They're going to be all living together in the Big Brother house with all their conversations and drama recorded 24/7. Things should be interesting. Celebrity Big Brother airs 4 nights a week right here on News Channel 5. Beginning February 7th, Julie Chen has hosted every season so far, and she is back once again. And here's something that folks are talking about today. A prosthesis developed by researchers at Georgia Institute of Technology uses ultrasound technology to allow this amputee to move each finger on his new limb independently. The man lost his right arm below the elbow in a traumatic accident at work 6 years ago. A brand new technology gives him the fine motor skills needed to play the piano and to resume mostly a normal life of full mobility. Inventors say they had Luke Skywalker's bionic hand from the Star Wars movie in mind the whole time they were developing the research. That's pretty amazing. Now let's go over to Leland.
Do you remember where that collection of ceramics of things you just had to have 87 of from several decades ago is? Or did you inherit some stuff and you just really have no idea if it's truly worth something? Our expert appraiser is here to help with that and more. Connie Sue Davenport is back with us. Good to have you back with us and everything.
Thanks, Leland.
Yeah, some of us, there was stuff several years ago we just had to have it, and now it's sitting in a box somewhere. Or maybe you inherited something. So help us out. How do we know if it's worth something?
Well, every collection has 1 or 2 really good pieces. And the way to find the answer to which of those is good is to go to eBay and let them do that work for you. There's a drop-down menu that says, I want to see the highest first. And you also want to see it through sold listings. So those 2 things can help you find out if one cow is worth more than the rest of the cows altogether. But we've got all sorts of collections. As you said, I've seen 80, 300 pieces, and sometimes it takes over a room, sometimes multiple rooms, sometimes the floor of the house, sometimes they build another building for the collections. But I have found that if the pieces stick to the shelves that they're sitting on, they haven't played with them for quite a while. So it's time to let them go. eBay and Craigslist are great places to do that, and there are all manner of other selling venues online.
And one of the things that you've told me, and I've heard a couple of other collectors have told me along the years, sometimes what it's worth isn't necessarily from an antique standpoint. What it's worth maybe is just determined by what somebody else is willing to pay for it.
No, it's what 2 or 3 other people are willing to pay.